Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Equal Performance round number 5 from the Singapore Grand Prix. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, of which we've got the 5th round of the Equal Performance League tonight. And it's certainly going to be an interesting race. Safety cars, a very high percentage around here, due to it being a street circuit, the nature of the wall so close. There's only one way to find out what's going to happen. That's to watch it as it happens. But the Marina Bay Street Circuit first broke ground in 2007 on the 31st of August, opened a year later. From then it's hosted the Singapore Grand Prix since then, and has had many alterations during that time. Obviously the first circuit was 5.073 kilometres, 3.1 miles long, had 23 corners within it. That's back when it had the good old-fashioned Singapore sling at turn sort of 10. Then obviously we had the iteration with the revised Singapore sling chicane removed. That was in 2013-14. 2015 they reprofiled turns 11 and 13. 2018 they reprofiled 16 and 17, and then obviously 2023 onwards we have had the sort of the bay section of chicanes, as you'll see on the track map there, taken out, so just one long straight. All that we can on it. The race lap record held by Daniel Ricciardo in the V-Carb, a 1 minute 34.486. Good evening, Spud. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. As we start this 18-minute qualifying session, and the Red Bull is about to leave the garage. But this circuit holds a very unique record. Since 2008 up until 2024, it had a safety car every single year, apart from in 2024 when the race ran clean. Dry qualifying is what Spud is saying, which is good to hear. But potential from another weather minion is that it could be getting a bit wet in the race. That's good to hear, Spud. Good to hear. So here we go then, with the Marina Bay circuit. As we have Keza on an out lap. We'll follow him around. We'll do an onboard lap with him. Meanwhile, we will have a look at the standings. So after Spa-Francorchamps, we only have the driver standings at present. But after Spa-Francorchamps, Kent now leads the championship on 51 points, with Jack T and 53 Synopsis on 42. Kriksik moves up 3 places into third with 37. Sam Flan has 32, Flaherty 31. Typhoon has 30, unfortunately not with us tonight for tonight's race. Ginger Tiger has 28, Gattuso has 23, Sir Spud is in 9th with 20, and Clips Kiri rounds out the top 10 on 19 points. But we got on board with Keza, and we're going to go for a lap around the Marina Bay Street Circuit. So DRS opens, we come down the main straight towards turns 1, 2 and 3. You kind of like just let it coast through 1, get a nice line through 2 to open up 3, because it's a really horrible traction zone. 4 to flip there, 5, late apex. Used to have a nicer curb on it, used to be a lot flatter as Keza nicks the wall. But he looks like he doesn't carry on the lap, no damage caused. DRS open for the first time technically in this lap because of DRS on the main straight being before the line. 6, flat right, 790 left. Then we go into 8 and 9, which is Padang. And then down to where the old Singapore sling chicane was. It's now just the sling. One corner, bring it to the left hand side for the chicane. And we have invalidated our lap with Keza. Which is a bit of a shame. Going on board with Gattuso as he comes through the sling. He's on not a lap actually, because get on board with someone who is. There's Kent as he there's a bit of a slide through the right left of 11-12 over the Anderson Bridge into 13 with a hairpin left. Sometimes a little bit difficult to stop the car there. DRS open once again as we head down towards turn 14. Hit the brakes, use a touch of curve, use all the room you've got on the outside to open up the corner. 15's a flat left-hander. In real life this was a DRS zone, but it's not in the game. Hit the brakes. 16, 17. Gradually coax out of 17, and then you want to clean a run through 18 and 19. Can leave it nice and wide to keep the steering open. A 128.891 sets the tone so far. We got nitric gas going through, 29.3 on a medium tyre. Who's this? This is Maris crossing the line, starting a lap. We've got, I'm going to say that's probably Jack. It is Jack who is now who's just on a 129.0. So not too bad. He goes into second, not far away. Clips Kiri puts in a 28.5. We've got the Ferrari of Kriksik on into the pit lane, so obviously he hasn't had a good lap. Ginger Tiger coming around to complete his lap on medium tyres. It's a 28.8 for Ginger Tiger, puts himself into second place. Who else we got out there? We've got Stephen on another flyer. Looks like another flyer. And no, he's backed off. Well, no, we haven't backed off, sorry, there's no DRS there. Right, left, down towards the final couple of corners for the Sauber driver. He doesn't peel into the pits, which means he's definitely on a flying. Lap crosses the line. It's a 28.9 for the Sauber. Mikey, he's got a 129.7. Keza just goes second quickest, 28.5. So Spud is just on a 30.2 on a set of mediums. Gattuso goes fast, a 27.2. That is a statement of intent from Gattuso. Or is it identical to previous races? Really taking grip of this pole position and qualifying. Maris puts himself into 9th. I'm trying to work out if Clips. No, Clips isn't on another lap. I think Jack's on an in lap. No, he's gearing up for a proper lap now. So right on board with second in the championship, Jack TM53 Synopsis. And Rex, I say, coast it through the first part. Try and open up turn 3 as much as you can. And you see there why the traction of the car not being fully obedient there for Jack. 3-5 down towards 6, DRS wide open. Nail the brakes, ready for 7. 4th gear runs, just about gets away with it. Almost a little bit too much speed carried in, sideways through the hairpin of 8, and we go into Padang at turn 9. Just maybe just a touch too much curve there from Jack. So you head into the sling, take all the curve you can through there, just again to open the corner up, carry the speed. So you head towards the Anderson Bridge. So you're all about trying to open up every corner you can to carry the pace, carry that momentum. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 to come then for Jack. Hits the brakes at the 50 board, turns it in. Slightly late on getting that front end turn in there. Didn't quite, just a bit of understeer from Jack, causing her to be late on the apex. Is a 28.5, but I'm sure there's plenty more to come. And second to 4th covered by less than 0.05 of a second. So really, really tight times here in the field tonight. Maris Just going round here. We've got It's the Cat on a lap. It's just started. There's the leg, Crixic, who hasn't put a lap time in just yet. What can he achieve on this first flying attempt as he comes across the Anderson Bridge? It's kind of like the notion of halfway through the circuit, that Anderson Bridge, because now you won't quite see it here, I don't think, but just behind him there, that's where turn 8 is. Basically a massive sort of crossroad as Gattuso puts in a 27-1, consolidating that provisional pole position for the Aston Martin team. Crixic crosses the line. It's a 28.0 for Crixic, so 9/10 away from Gattuso. Maris has gone through to start a lap. No, he's just finished. Well, see, no improvement. 3 laps he's had on those soft tyres now, so he's going to want to come and get a new set of boots on that Haas. The leg should be coming through anytime soon. The Cat's gone up to 10th. The leg replaces his teammate in 10th place. I don't know what's happened to the Cat, but he's obviously gone either deep or he's tried to let people through. He just had a little caught, just being caught on the outside. Massive Marshall at the moment, 15th for now, just starting a flying lap in the Racing Ball. Moving on a lap, Kent. Just making his way through Sector 2. We've got Ginger Tiger. Nitric Gas 7/10 up on his current best time, so he's looking at a 28.6. Ginger Tiger coming up to the second split, half a second quicker. 28.3 he's knocking on the door of. Kent was 0.14 quicker through Sector 1. What's it going to be through Sector 2? Down by 1.4, so he's made a mistake somewhere as Kent. Nitric Ash has put in a 28.3. He's gone into 3rd place. Ginger Tiger to the line, cross the line, 27.9. So the second man goes into the 27s, and it is Ginger Tiger. We have Stephen coming around to start a lap. And I'm going to say that is going to be Massive Marshall to complete his lap. Can he go much faster? It's a 30.1, but it still doesn't remove him off the bottom of the pile. Now Mikey has come into the pits. 29.7, down 13th for Mikey. We'll be hoping for more on his final run. So Stephen currently 3/10 to the good after a sector. Clips Kerry goes into the 27s, a 27.9 for the Haas driver. He goes second quickest. Stephen coming up to the final set of corners then for the kick Sauber. They've been running out of battery use. It's a 28.2, 6/10 quicker, and 5th place for Stephen. Clips Kerry not on the lap. We've got Massive Marshall there. We've got Sir Spud starting. Let's go on board with Sir Spud. He's had a good season so far. He's had some really strong results in that Sauber just by correct tyre choice and keeping out of trouble. I'm going to hide the UI and enjoy a lap with Sir Spud. Yeah, that was a lap by Sir Spud, 28.9, currently his best time. Good evening, Soldier Stone, predicting 2 safety cars tonight. I think that's a pretty safe bet, potentially. There's Kent. I think going for... I think he's just come out of the pits, so... I think he's just come out of the pits, he's not on an outlap, so... I'm not quite sure what's going on there for Kent. I wonder if he's doing a couple of warm-up laps just to get those tyres in the right temperature window. Quite critical on this game to get the tyres prepared correctly. Where's the Marshall on the hot lap? We've got Jack, who is on a hot lap. Championship contender in the McLaren. Looking to go faster. DRS wide open on that papaya orange car. He is 3/10 to the good through sector 1, putting him on a 28.2. Would put him just ahead of O'Stephen right now. Just needs to keep it all clean. There was allegedly a purple sector for the McLaren. I don't trust that it was a purple sector because the map normally lies. Through the sling then for Jack. Get it over, get it tucked in. This is the crucial part for Jack now. The second half of this lap was a little scruffy at times, especially at the end with the 16-17 chicane. He needs to get that front end to bite more come the end of this lap. Uses all the track he can through 14, 15's flat. He's got to be careful. There's a red ball coming up. Can he get the front end turn in this time? Yes, he can. Nails the first exit. Opens up the second part of the chicane. Has a little wobble. Nearly clips the wall. Jack up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 27.588. It is second fastest for now. But we have got a lot of times to come in now. Kent is now on his flying lap. His final one for the session. The leg. Finishing a lap now in the Alpine. What can he achieve? It's a 29.1. Stays 11th. Did go quicker though. Crixix just going on to 1. I think Kez is just going on to 1. Mikey going on to a lap. We got the Haas. Not sure which Haas. That's Clips. Both Mercedes are just about to go onto a flyer. There is Stephen about to go onto a flyer. Gattuso is not on a flyer. So the next person we've got is Maras, who is invalidated. So he'll be looking to get to the line in time for another lap. He should just about get there in time, but he's going to have to make sure he keeps that shimmy on. So Kent, I'm going to assume, yeah, Jack is done for the session. That's what Jack's got. Kent is 4/10 to the good, but that's nowhere near the 27s. He needs to make up a lot of time through this final sector. Up to the final couple of corners for the championship leader. What can he achieve? It's a 27.9. It's 4th place for now. He's got his teammates not too far behind. We know Jack's not on a lap. The leg is not on a lap. I was going to say, I'd be surprised if he was. Crixix has invalidated his last attempt. So big news there. Keza. What can he achieve through the last couple of corners? It's going to be 7th for Keza. Mikey stays 14th. It's not a great qualifying from Mikey. Clips. Kiri goes 3rd. Ginger Tiger puts himself into the framework for 3rd place. Got Nitrogas into the pit, so he's not going to improve. Oh, Stephen, I think the last man on a lap, puts himself into 8th place. But it is going to be Gattuso who is going to take the pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. He's on a run of form in qualifying as Gattuso. The question is, can he convert this one into a race win? Last week he was foiled by tyre choice. And he's championship leader. He'll start on row number 3 for Kent. His rival, Jack, on the front row. He'll be looking to get a good start off the line and try and control this race from the front if he can. Second covering the top 6. So here is your grid order for the Singapore Grand Prix. Gattuso takes pole position from Jack to the M53. Ginger Tiger and Clips Kiri make up row 2. Row 3 is Kent and Crixic. Row 4, Keza and O'Stephen. On row 5 is Nitric Ash and Sir Spud, with row 6 being The Leg and Maras. Row 7, it's the Cat, and he's joined by Mikey and Massive Marshall, making the 8th row his home, as he's the only one to start there in 15th place. Interesting, Sir Spud, you only use the mediums, but it looks at it, maybe one set of softs, so he's got a couple of sets of softs to play with. I don't know if that is intentional. Maybe thinking if there's going to be safety cars, he'll have an extra set of softs to try and take advantage of when everyone's grouped together. Spud saying he will take 10th on the mediums. It is a good effort from yourself, Spud. Certainly a good start to the evening for yourself in the top 10 already. Remember, in IRL, the top 12 score points. Along with fastest lap of the race, taking a point extra on top. Now, we've heard rumours that there's potential rain in this race. And if that is the case, this could be a really interesting, really interesting race if there is rain to come. Just await. We'll wait to see when we get going. So here we go. We are going to have the formation lap for the Singapore Grand Prix. Just to run you through the grid order once again, we have Gattuso and Jack on row 1. Ginger Tiger and Clips Kiri occupy row 2. Row 3 is Kent and Kriksik, with Keza and O'Stephen on row 4. Nitrogash and Sir Spud occupy row 5. Nitrogash probably expecting a bit more out of that qualifying session than 9th. The Leg and Maris are row 6. The Cat is joined by Mikey on row 7 and Massive Marshall, the last man on the grid, 15th in row number 8. So yeah, unfortunately they're not my dogs. We don't have any dogs. They're just unfortunately yapping away outside. Amazingly loud considering the microphone picking that up. My top 3. Well, that's. I mean, in theory, if you're going to go on pace, you're going to have to say Gattuso and Jack would be part of that top 2. I mean, Jack is very fond of this Singapore circuit. He does enjoy it. Beyond that, I'd say Kriksik, to be honest, has a chance of getting up into that top 3. He's got good pace, Kriksik, but just didn't quite get a show because of the invalidations during the race, and that's the other thing we have to think about here for this evening. Not only are we going to have the safety cars, but the track limits are very, very strict around here. It's very easy to pick up 3 seconds for infringing the track limits. And interesting, just seeing Spud's comment on the weather. So there's potential for heavy rain on the last lap. Now, I must also stress here that in IRL we use approximate weather. We do not use the perfect weather forecast. So we've seen it before where it says, oh, we've got heavy rain due, and sometimes it doesn't come. Sometimes it comes way earlier than expected, like in the unfortunate invalid Canada race. In the Spa-Francorchamps race last week for round 4. There was due to be rain later in the race, but it came straight away. But we are 5 red lights for the Singapore Grand Prix. We are racing at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. We got 2 drive-through penalties for jump starts. That is Maris and Mikey. Disaster for those. Gattuso gets a flying start off as we go through turns 1, 2, 3 straight away. Ginger Tiger and Kriksik going side by side. Looks like Kriksik going to get up to 4th. A great start from the Ferrari driver. He's on the outside for turn 5 though, but it should give him good traction leaving the corner down towards 6 and 7, and he'll get a bit of slipstream as well. And the Ferrari driver up into 4th, Clips Kiri. He's had a good getaway in the Haas. He's in 3rd, just behind Jack, who's almost a second away from Gattuso. That's your tyres. And we've got a yellow flag. That is for Mikey, who looks like he's gone round. And he's losing an end plate. So that's going to be really annoying that for Mike, because when he comes in next to the pits, he'll serve his drive-through. And he won't be able to stop and get that wing change. He'll have to either live with it for the stint or make a second pit stop in two stops in 2 laps. Back to the race though, and it's Gattuso leading by 1.4 seconds. He is gone. Jack is in 2nd with Clips Kiri behind him. Jack just heading up this train now, all the way down to Maris in 13th. He's incredibly close to Massive Marshall, but it's not really going to matter because Maris has that drive-through. Everyone's just trying to sort themselves out, jostling for a little bit of position here as we head through the last couple of corners onto the 2nd lap. Maris stays out. What does Mikey do? Mikey stays out as well. Interesting. They do have 3 laps to serve the penalty. Personally, I would have sort of done it now. Get out of the way and then work towards sort of getting that time back. DRS is obviously activated now. Clips Kiri under big pressure from Kriksik. To the inside for the Ferrari driver. Oh, and he's run a bit wide. He's going to lose that position. He can't keep that one. Running off wide like that, he's going to look to challenge into turn 8. Still there, but not quite close enough to get that place. And Clips Kiri takes the place back. Jack, I think, had a small mistake through there because he's dropped a little bit of time to Clips Kiri. Although Jack is a wily old dog, you know. He knows a few tricks, especially when it comes to sort of DRS, although it doesn't look like he's going to play them. As once again, Clips Kiri is Nitric Ash and Kent. Nitric Ash gets past Kent across the Anderson Bridge, but Kent is on the hard tyres. So Kent looking to go long here. Okay. Oh, unfortunately Spud has disconnected. I'm going to see if I can get Spud in quickly. So, yeah. Hopefully that gets Spud back into the race. It'd be a shame to see him not do so well in this race, courtesy of that. But Clips carrying out half a second away as Maris comes into the pits for his drive-through. Mikey comes into the pits for his drive-through. So Spud is back in the lobby. As it looks like the Cat and Marshall having a bit of a ding-dong through the first 3 corners. I say a bit of a ding-dong, Marshall's got no front wing. So it looks like more of a ding-dong than we first thought. As we head down towards turn number 7 for the Alpines. Further up the order, Jack has got a 4/10 gap to Clips Kiri. Gattuso is gone. Gattuso is long ago. Oh, Clips into the wall. Into the wall by the Anderson Bridge. Has he taken any damage? That is the question. Just clipped the wall on the exit of the chicane. Kind of dragged him in. He clipped the outside on the Anderson Bridge as well. Luckily, I mean, visually there's no damage there, but that doesn't mean there isn't any damage. So we'll have to keep an eye on Clips to see how well he can keep up with Jack. It looks like he's okay for now, though. As the 2 Alpines have swapped position, and the leg now has a damaged front wing. Front wing bill invoices being sent to the teams as we speak, and they are not small. And 2 Mercedes now running together as they're chasing after Kriksik. Gattuso, unfortunately, the way this is going to go, Gattuso is going to get a few mentions, but probably not a lot of screen time at this point because he's 3.6 to the good, controlling this race now right from the start. The leg, Massive Marshall, into the pits. That should allow a place for a couple of places for Maris and Mikey. You can see this train of cars. Looking behind from Jack TM53 Synopsis. Jack, and Clips a little bit wide. Kriksik sniffs a little bit of blood here. Can't find the gap though. Keza already, we're only 4 laps in, and he's already got 3 strikes. 3 seconds for the Red Bull driver for track infringements. He's able to sort of close into Jack, unable to find anywhere to sort of get past the McLaren right now. Anything which is not easy to overtake on. So lap 5 of the Singapore Grand Prix. Just reaches the last couple of corners. McLaren holding on well here. Keeping hold of that second place. You just see this train of cars behind all the way down to Keza. Bit of a gap then to O'Stephen. So Spud is obviously back in the car. Which is good to see. He's ahead of the cap by 2 seconds. You have Maris 18 behind that, so he's got a lot of time to make up. And obviously Maris and Mikey, obviously they've taken the drive-through penalty. They've still got to make their pit stops to run the other set of tyres. Mikey obviously on the hard tyres, so he'll look to go long. But both will be hoping for some, maybe even a safety car near their pit stop window or beyond. Back to this fight for second though. It's a long old train. 7/10 is the gap to Clips Kiri. The two Mercedes looking to do something with the Ferrari of Krikzik, who I must admit has been slightly halted here by Clips Kiri in his quest for that podium. I think he's still on, but I think Krikzik was kind of hoping Jack would sort of get away from Clips and the Ferrari would have that DRS advantage over the Haas. It's not quite worked out that way for now. Through turns 7 into 8. I do wonder, are these Mercedes due to swap around potentially? Or is this a game plan that they're working to? I mean, the biggest thing here is you look at the red balls of Kent and Keza. Now, I know Keza's got a 3-second penalty. It's not going to help him. But they're on the harder tyre. They're going to get the hard tyre out of the way. But they are staying on the back of this queue, and that could be a bit of an advantage come the end of this race. One lap 7:31, and nearing, not far away from third race distance. We have a yellow flag. I think that's for Mikey. We have a virtual safety car, and I think actually that's for Massive Marshall, who has retired from the session. But his car is still moving on the map. That is an on-track retirement. That is not a crash. And it has caused a virtual safety car here. It's not a full one. Krikzik, 10-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Ah, disaster for the Ferrari, trying to take advantage of this virtual safety car. And he's come a cropper of the speeding. Ginger Tiger jumped in the pits as well, still on the virtual safety car. What it does do though is it relieves Clips Kiri a little bit from the pressure that was behind him. Now this is the biggest problem for Krikzik now. He has that 10-second penalty. Now you would say if the virtual safety car looks like he's going to carry on for a little while longer, come in and sort of serve that time penalty. But the problem you have is he's gone on to hard tyres, and the hard tyres will probably just about go to the end of this race. As we go back to green, DRS enabled, Jag a little bit wide coming out of the hairpin after the Anderson Bridge. This could provide an opportunity for the Haas driver of Clips Kiri. Can't quite find that gap. Further behind, you got Nitrogas, Kent and Keza. Now this is crucial here for Clips Kiri. ensuring Nitro does not get within that 1 second and leave him as prey almost for the two Red Bulls. These Red Bulls, they're going to be... It won't be too much longer before the hards do come into their own. And they will be quicker than the medium tyre. Down towards turn 7 we go once again. Kiri gets close, not close enough. Kent want the same story. Everyone being very sensible at the moment in terms of where they're looking to make a move, when they're looking to make a move. Bridge, what can Clips Kiri do? 4/10 behind, and he's not close enough. Nor is Kent, and Keza's starting to drop back a little bit from these two. Down towards the chicane. Now Stephen doing well, he's only 3.3 behind this little gaggle of cars. So he's doing quite well to stay sort of relatively close here to this battle. Clip's not close enough to Jack. And the same story once again for Kent. Kent closes right in though on the brakes. But you see that. Nitro just had a slightly better turn 2, but he gets a slight wobble out of turn 3. Kent right on the back of the Mercedes. This is the chance. Oh, he just runs it a little bit wide. Bit of understeer from the front end of the Red Bull. On the overtake to get past the Mercedes. Done deal for Kent. He's up into 4th. Next on his list is Clips Kiri. And then it's his championship rival for now, Jack TM53 Synopsis. But obviously you can't count out Gattuso here, even though he's had a bit of a rough start to the season, just through mistakes and tyre choice. Gattuso should be higher in the standings than he is currently. And he is definitely going to be a factor in this title race. And Ken already pulled out 9/10 of a second to Nitrogash. Really crucial now these laps. 3.4 the gap to the front. That looked like a lock-up from the race leader. He's got both end plates, so he's okay, but yeah, definite time loss. Locked the fronts going in. Clips Kiri now picks up 3 seconds for a track infringement. That's not going to help his cause here. In the fight with Jack. If anything, he's going to have to start looking behind him. Because Kent, as Maris joins the track infringement club. Mikey has actually come into the pits, checked himself on a set of mediums. So Mikey, 2 stopping this race then, because those mediums won't go to the end. And he's got to be a bit careful here, Mikey, because he's not a million miles away from being lapped. Here's the McLaren. We are watching the closest battle on circuit, 4/10 of a second between Jack and Clips Kiri, and you look behind, there's the Red Bull. That is a daunting sight. Nitrogash has just lost all pace on those mediums. That was a change of position. Crixik and the Cat, I think. Yeah, Cat sort of getting out of the way, I think, not really wanting to be part of that fight. Knows it's not his sort of race, and here comes Kent. Gets good traction out of 14 through 15. Can he get alongside? No, he can't. Keeps his car positioned in the mirrors, but again, the door is not open for him. Meanwhile, Nitrogash now has his hands full of Keza behind him. It's yeah, going to be a bit of a tough one this for Nitric Ash. It looks like those mediums are just not really producing what he wants. Meanwhile, Kent has a bad exit from Kiri comparatively to the Red Bull. Here comes Ken, easy overtake in the end. Gotta keep it on track though. And he does so. So now we have the two championship leaders together. Jack and Kent, second and third. Krixik has got past Spud again. I think Spud not interested in fighting that Ferrari. He knows it's not his race. He knows he's better off almost trying to use him like a bit of a tow hook around this. So okay, I'm trying to make a bit of time up because Krixik is very, very quick. And this also showing the fact that the hards are now a lot better than the mediums. Kent all over the back of Jack. He's got to pick his timing here. There's no point tangling with Jack because he still needs to get this early in the season, fifth round in. He still needs to collect good points. The gap to the front though hasn't really grown much. It's still around 3.5, and Gattuso is into the pits. Lap 12, Gattuso says he's had enough of those medium tyres. Maybe seeing the fact that Kent is closing fast and deciding new rubber is the best way to go. So Jacques now leads the way in the Singapore Grand Prix. He does also officially lead a lap. And that's obviously Krixik has got past Gattuso. So Krixik now in the net lead of this race. Ginger Tiger in net second. However, those hard tyres are 5 laps older. As Keza does get past Nitric Ash down into 7. So he is up as we've got Spud in the pits. The Cat is in the pits as well. Yeah, Keza up into 4th. And the fight he's going to want to have now with Clips Kiri, that will be position. They have the same amount of time penalties from track infringements. Meanwhile, how hard does Jack want to fight Kent here? The answer at the moment is he's doing a good job of keeping Kent behind. How long is Kent's going to be to the inside? Nope, thinks better of it. Moving around a lot is Kent, trying to get a bit of a distraction, but Jack is going to come into the pits on the 13th lap, as is Clips Kiri. See the 2 Red Bulls carry on, so it's a Red Bull 1-2 provisionally for now. There's Nitric Ash. So Spud's gone on to a set of soft tyres, so interesting strategy here from Spud. I think most people are doing a 1-stop, unless everyone is on a 2-stop race. Coming up behind Gattuso, but how far behind is that going to be? 5.5 seconds. So he's lost a little bit of time there as Jack on the in-lap. And then he did have Kent for company. And we are watching Kent's teammate Keza as he battles with Nitric Ash at the moment. Clips Kiri 0.5 of a second behind Jack. It was a great exit from Keza, but equally Nitro kind of sort of consoled him a little bit with his own traction issues coming off the Anderson Bridge. I really have to feel Nitro's going to be coming in this lap. I think he's losing quite a lot of time here. But then saying that he is getting DRS at the moment, which could be helpful. There is a yellow flag. That is for an Alpine. Nitric Ash comes into the pits. It is the leg who has got going again. Any damage on the car? Doesn't look like it. Looks like just a small off for the Alpine. So Steven moves up into the top 3. Krixik into 4th now. Remember, he does have the net lead of this race. Nitric Ash should come out behind Clips Kiri. He's going to come out behind Clips Kiri. A fair way behind that, as that as well, as he now rejoins the race. So I'm going to go back to Clips and Jack, because they're the only ones within a second of each other right now. Involved with the Haas. See, it just looks like Jack's getting good traction out of corners and taking slightly better lines through some of the corners. A lot of curb taking that from Clips Kerry. Oh, and he just clips the inside, and Jack goes deep on the on the hairpin afterwards. Amazingly, no damage to that Haas as he clips the inside of the wall. Down towards 16-17. Clipsq still all over. Over the back, and we're going to go to Krixig because he's going to be lining up a move for third place in the current standings. DRS open. Easy move for the Ferrari again. Oh, Stephen, probably just playing that a little bit wide. No point fighting him, not in your race. Jack still has 5 tenths to Clips. So a little general rundown. We have Kent leading the way at the moment. He's got a little bit deep through the hairpin. And Kez has ripped a ton of time out of his own teammates. Keza is in second, Krixik is in third. We'll keep an eye on that gap between the two Red Bulls. O'Steven is in fourth, Ginger Tiger fifth, Gattuso sixth, Jack is seventh, Clips Kiri is in eighth, Nitrogash in ninth, so Spud 10th, It's the Cat 11th, the Leg rounding out the current point paying positions. Maris in 13th, Mikey in 14th. Those two desperately hoping for a full safety car. Keza has sped in the pit lane, 10-second penalty for him. So Krixik has had someone sort of look at his issues and go, I'm going to join you in that unfortunate fate of having a 10-second penalty. That's big news. That's really, really big news for Keza because he was going well in this race. He had the 3 seconds, which to some degree you can kind of live with. You can bounce from that and still get a really good result. But now with 10 seconds on top of that, it's yeah, that's really no good. Ginger Tiger gets past O'Steven relatively easily, although he didn't really shake O'Steven coming out of the corner. The fuel's burning down, tyres should last longer. Although I must admit, Spud's probably not going to last as long as he wants them to right now. Well, I would dare say those softs have already started to give up the ghost because it's the Cat who's on the same age tyre, but on the hards he is catching Spud as we speak. So to the inside of O'Steven. Steven looks like making a little bit of a lock-up from Gattuso. Gets the move done though. I'm sure O'Steven will feel a little bit aggrieved by that, but to be honest, that's just hard fair racing. Just a slight lock-up from Gattuso as he enters, and Keza picks up another 3 seconds for track infringement. Chris is going to have to do something special here with that 10-second penalty attached to his time so far. Going to drop into a roundabout Jack's area at present. This Clips Kiri Again, he's looking for the gap, constantly looking for the gap, can't find the gap. Spud is in the pit, and we've got a yellow flag. That's from Mikey. He spun it coming out of turn 14. Luckily gets going again, no problems at all, so no damage. But Keza is on the back of Nitro Gash. We have Maras, who's got past the leg because the leg is in the pit. So Spud had wing damage, which might explain the lack of pace there. Going back on a set of mediums. But we have this battle between Keza and Nitro. Remember, there is a big tyre difference in terms of compound. The gauge is very, very similar. But here comes Keza to the inside. Job done. However, it is worth noting, we saw how bad the mediums went off in the first stint. They will be a bit nicer in terms of degradation in the second stint because of the less fuel, but still, we go Steven into the pits. But still, they're not going to be too nice when they do go off. Steven's going to come out as a nice clean air. It's Gattuso side by side with Ginger Tiger through 6, down towards 7. And Gattuso up into 3rd place. And I've only just realised this. Kent's made a mistake somewhere because either Kent's made a mistake or... Yes, Kent has definitely made a mistake. Look at the front wing. The front wing is damaged on the Red Bull. That is not good for Kent. You can see how much he's struggling with the turning of that car. He's got to make it another half a lap yet. Luckily, it's not as many corners as it used to be, so we didn't lose as much time as if it were on the old layout. Going through the tunnel. Mikey has gained a place. He's up into 13th even after that spin. Kent is staying out, so is the damage not as bad as it looks? I mean, he's lost like 2 seconds to Krixik, and Gattuso now well within range. Is Kent going to try and hang this out to softs? He is surely now waiting for a safety car. Because and Krixik picks him a 3-second time penalty for track limits. He's pushing hard to try and build a gap. I don't think it's quite going to work though. Gattuso to the insider. Kent gets a bit of a squeeze, but it's all fair, no contact. Gattuso into 2nd. And the longer this goes on for Kent, the harder this race is going to get for him. Because he'll have to change the front wing. He's going to put him down, possibly behind O'Steven. You just see the time he's losing at the moment. Jack, he doesn't know this yet, unless he's watching the stream. He won't know Kent's got an issue right now and is losing a very big chunk of time. At the moment though, let's have a look at the gap to leader. He's 9.5 behind Krixik, who's now got 13 seconds worth of penalties. So that's the aim for Jack. He's got to stay within those 13 seconds of Krixik to sort of ensure that he takes over that place. Meanwhile, Kent under pressure from Ginger Tiger, and he still remains out. Ginger Tiger looks like he actually went a little bit wide to make sure he avoided Kent. He looks to the inside, can't quite do it. There's Jack in the background. He can see his title rival, and he can see he's closing in on him at a rate of knots. See how much time Ginger Tiger's losing whilst being sat behind this Red Bull. Kent being a right nuisance to Ginger and Mercedes again. It's a bit of a squeeze, but Ginger Tiger this time gets through past the Red Bull. He's into 3rd place. Gattuso just 9/10 away from Krixik. This is going to get interesting for the lead of this race. Say for the lead, to be honest, it's not really in doubt with Gattuso because of Krixik's penalties, but We have a yellow flag. Keza is out. What has happened to Keza? He's out of the sling, and we have the safety car. Everyone in that top 7's coming in from fresh mediums. Well, I say that, but Nitrogash and Ginger Tiger don't have fresh mediums. Anyone who's got fresh mediums, they'll be coming in now. I can almost assure you. And what a godsend. Keza's car no longer there. But what a godsend this is for Kent. Crixik will be in to serve that penalty. Everyone... Oh, the legs now picked up a 10-second penalty. That's not ideal for him. Mikey has also come into the pits. What a godsend this is for Kent. He's going to get a fresh wing. Intermediate tyres are going on the cars, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, we have a difference of opinion going on. Does that mean we have rain in approximately 5 minutes' time? Because we have a mix of tyres. We have intermediates for Gattuso and Kent. Ginger Tiger has gone for mediums. Jack has gone for softs, as has Crixik. Crixik not losing too much time there with his 10-second penalty. This is gonna get interesting. We have a Skittles board worth of tyres. Green, red, yellow and white. Not quite any blue tyres yet, but... Wow, okay, so... I haven't seen a drop of rain yet. PK Junior for Keza. I mean, I'd like to think that's not... I mean, the sling can be quite difficult if you get it wrong. But yeah... Interesting times for the Red Bull camp for certain. One goes out, the other one benefits. But, oh, that was an interesting little glitch in the game. Is that going to be the sign of rain to come? Yes, we have rain. Yes, there is rain. We have rain. So Kent and Gattuso may have just got this absolutely right, because if the tracks get wet, it'll get wet. It does tend to get wet quickly on this game. It's not like you don't really go through like that sort of dry damp phase. Again, we've also had it where the rain is there but not strong enough for those intermediate tyres. Wow, this is going to get very interesting. The leg has come back into the pits to serve that 10-second penalty. I don't think that's a good idea. He's going to get lapped now. I think he's going to get lapped, and that's the end of it. That'll be pretty much the end of his race for the leg. There he is. He's still in the pit lane. So the leg goes a lap down, and that's absolutely race ruined at that point. So spoken past Stephen Nitrogash. So Stephen Nitrogash and the cat we've got come in for intermediate tyres. This is going to get very interesting when we go back racing. And it won't be long, because Mikey looks like he's a long way away, but in reality, the pace he should be going at, he won't be that far. In fact, actually, Mikey's now coming into the pits, which is interesting, because he's got to be... I don't know how long the safety car is going to stay out for. Yeah, because the normal sort of crash on the Singapore sling, clip the inside wall, sends you to the outside wall, and that is curtains for the race. Mikey just leaving the pits. I genuinely don't know when that safety car is going to come in. Of course, now Mikey's at the other end of the circuit. He's a long, long way away. He's going to have to hope that the lights stay on this safety car. But Jack and Ginger and Crixik, they're going to want these lights to go out and get racing so they get a bit of time on those slick tyres. Not really sure what's going on down there. Safety car's going to go around once more, so this is going to help everyone on the intermediate tyres. So, there's no spray yet coming up that I can see of from the car, so right now, and we don't yet know if DRS will be disabled or until after that first lap. Who's made the right call? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Lee, is that it doesn't look that way. Normally the biggest indicator is when you get spray coming off the tyres. When you can see a little bit of spray coming off the front tyres, that's when you know it's wet enough for intermediates. At least that's how I've always sort of based it on, is that at that point the inters will be faster. Is this just going to be this sort of light drizzle that really doesn't really amount to anything in terms of wet weather? Safety car coming in this lap. On board with Gattuso as he backs the field up. When does he go for this restart? Stitch goes in, he goes now, and he has caught Ginger Tiger napping like you wouldn't believe. A second to the good as he crosses the line, but now the slick tyres, they've got a limited time now to get them up to temperature, get them working, use the grip that's available. Maris picks up 3 seconds for track infringement. They head through turns 5 down towards 6. You can see Ginger trying to get a bit of temperature in those medium tyres. Jack on the softs. Mikey luckily brought back into this. He's now into the points. Just needs to finish there. Nitric Ash now picked up 3 seconds worth of penalties. That's big for him. He's down in 11th at the moment. He's having not a great race after he came back in the pits for intermediates. Well, I must admit, the slicks are not yet working on well, and say that as Jack is now all over the back of Kent. Now he's got a bit of temperature into the tyre. Should get good traction coming out of the Anderson Bridge hairpin. Will he look to the inside? Yes, he will. He'll send one to the inside. A bit of contact between the two title contenders. Jack slides it up the inside. They're going to go side by side through 15. It was late on the brakes from Jack, but he did get to the inside in time. And Jack on the slick tyres gets himself into 3rd place for now. DRS is enabled. That is a huge giveaway that Inters is not the right tyre to be on right now. As here comes Krixic down the inside. Oh, and a bit more contact for Kent as he's trying to survive at the moment on those intermediates. And Clips Kiri, the next person to overtake Kent. Kent is really struggling on the intermediate tyres. Meanwhile, at the front, Ginger Tiger now 7/10 behind Gattuso. He's in range for the DRS system. Meanwhile, Jack is now got to try and close that gap to Ginger Tiger to get into this fight for the front. Lap 26 of 31. We are still running slick tyres for some of the field. It's not wet enough for Inters yet. The DRS is still available. Tuso's going to have a bit of a hard time here defending from slick tyre runners of Ginger. Jack is closing the gap to Ginger as well. 1.2 seconds that gap. That was up to around about 2 at the start of this lap. It's the Cat and O'Stephen. Also have Nitric Ash and Mikey to contend with. That's lower down the order. That's for 9th place at the moment. Kent is... Clips Kiri has managed to get past Krixic. So Krixic having a little bit of an issue there. Can't see any spray coming up from the front tyres yet. So I think we're still in sort of those slick conditions. Oh, Stephen and the Cat. Oh, Nitric Gas looking to go around the outside of the Cat. This is a brave move from the Mercedes. Well done to the pair of them for not making contact. But unfortunately Nitro having to... Oh, I think Mikey just clicked the wall, the rear there. Nitro unfortunately having to concede that position on that attack. Maris is on the back of Spud by 3/10. Oh, he's not just on the back, he's in the back of Sir Spud. Yellow flag Pierre the leg. Are we about to have another safety? Oh, we've got the Cat now, the 2 Alpines. The Cat into the wall. We have a safety car. Oh my word, this is chaos. What do you do if you're on tyres? The rain is getting heavier by the looks of things. I would say we're going to get 1 lap of safety car. We're going to have 3 laps of racing, would be my guess. It is the reprieve that Gattuso needs. Try and get a bit more water on the track, but it still looks pretty dry. It will mean a lap less of 2 laps less of DRS attack from behind. Jack will be happy because he's on the soft tyres. This will keep his soft tyres in good nick as we come to the end of this race. No, the rain is still going. I thought the rain had stopped then from that camera angle. So, Burnt Mylander, we have had the 2 safety cars. 2 safety cars, 1 virtual safety car. This one caused, fortunately, by the Cat nosediving into the barrier at turn 14. His teammate, the leg, retired at turn 13 on the same lap. So I think if it was just the leg, we'd have been safety car free. Which is there being 2 Alpines in the walls. It turned into full safety car at the moment. We're not going racing yet. So Gattuso beaming ear to ear right now with a smile, because he's only going to have to deal with 1 lap of DRS attack should the DRS be enabled on the final lap, because the cat has not rejoined the back of the pack here. Nitrogash has pitted Stephen into the pits. Is this going to be for a set of soft tyres? Unfortunately, I kind of feel like it's a bit too late now to really be changing his strategy. Nitrogash has gone in and got himself a set of soft tyres. Coming down towards turn 6. 6, 7, into 8 and 9 behind the safety car. Gattuso leads this race. He's on intermediates. Ginger Tiger is second. He's on mediums. Jack is third. He's on the soft compound of tyre. We have Kent on the inters, Spud on the mediums, Maris on the mediums, Mikey, Clips and Critic all on the intermediates. Nitro the Cat and O'Stephen all on the soft compound of tyre. And this is crucial for everyone driving. Finish the race. You will get points as long as you cross that start-finish line. So across the Anderson Bridge for the 29th time. This will surely we're going to have the safety car in this lap. There we go. Safety car in this lap. Gattuso, he's going to need to get a flyer here. But Ginger will know that early trick. A hungry Mercedes, a hungry McLaren. Followed by a Red Bull. Of which Sir Spud could potentially get past Kent here with those medium tyres, if he can stick with him. See all the slick runners trying to get heat. So here we go now into the focus mode. Ginger Tiger, Gattuso speeds up. He goes now. Oh, and Ginger Tiger nearly snaps the rear end, but it's not quite the same advantage. Although I say that is 7 tenths, 8 tenths. It's growing, and once again, Gattuso is absolutely rocketed. Maras has lost multiple positions. Going down towards turn 1, Mikey up into 6th place. Nitrogash looking for 9th as Maris trying to still control that car. And Kent has got back past Jack. Oh, it's greasy. The surface is greasy. The inters are coming into their own. But again, I think this might just be because it's the first lap. The inters will heat up quicker. They're a softer compound. Sir Spud, now picks up 3 seconds. That's really unlucky that for Spud. Oh, I think that was a big clip of the wall with someone. As Crixic and Mikey go to battle. Mikey keeping that Ferrari behind. He's got good drive. Past Sir Spud he goes. Puts a car between him and the Ferrari. I tell you what, I think now it's getting so greasy. The inters are now the tyre to be on. So that the likes of Nitrogash and O'Stephen. Oh, look at the slide that Jack's just had. Easy meat for Clips Kiri. Yeah, Nitro past Sir Spud not in a happy place as Kent now goes up into 2nd. Those intermediates are working beautifully, and Mikey, I think, yes, McLaren going to do the switch as Mikey now goes up into 5th place. He was miles behind at the start of this race after a jump start. He's now into the top 5. DRS has been enabled still, so that says to me that it should still be slick conditions, but it's just not. The track is so greasy that the Inters are working better, and Ginger Tiger, gotta be careful. As Jack now picks up 3 seconds, but that's okay because everyone else behind him also has at least 3 seconds. And he's now just trying to get... Oh my word, look at the back end of Jack's car. It is not happy. And Krixik just going to drive by like he stood still. Meanwhile, Ginger Tiger has company in the form of Clips Kiri on this, the final lap. Look at the drive. That's insane amounts of traction difference between Inters and Slicks now. And Mikey's the next one to knock on Ginger Tiger's door. Krixik is on the way as well. And Jack, promise for Jack, he's on 9 lap old softs. Yes, they haven't done 9 competitive laps, but they are older and they won't be as nice as Nitrogash all over the back of him. Mikey needs to get good traction here. I think he will. Yes, he does. Look at the time collapse. 2/10 just coming out of a corner. Looks to the inside, thinks better of it. We'll look for the traction race coming out of turn 14. Got to use a little bit of ERS here. He doesn't have any to use. Mikey's going to struggle here, but Gattuso, phenomenal drive from the Aston Martin. He's going to cross the line. He wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Kent is in second with Clips just behind him. Krixik is in fourth. Mikey is in... We have a huge pile up. What on earth has happened here? Krixik has finished fourth. Nitrogash, it's the cat from nowhere, is going to be fifth. There's more chaos afterwards. What on earth? I think there was obviously a battle between Mikey and Ginger Tiger. And I think something's happened there. I'm not sure what. We have to go back to Gattuso to watch him win the race. It's the cat takes drive of the day. But I have no idea what just happened there. We had a car park for about 20 seconds of that race, I think. What I do know is it's hampered the McLarens. It's hampered Jack in his championship. And now I think Gattuso with that win, he's going to move up those standings quite rapidly here. So your winner is the provisional race results of the Singapore Grand Prix. Gattuso wins from Kent in second. Clips Kiri rounds out the podium. Krixik is in fourth with It's the Cat fifth. Nitrogash will be in sixth with O Steve in seventh. Mikey in eighth. Sir Spud finishes ninth with Jack in 10th. Maras is 11th. Ginger Tiger did not cross the line. He is a DNF with the leg. Keza and Massive Marshall joining him in not finishing the race. Wow, what an ending. Keza actually took away the point for fastest lap. He's not going to get it, but he takes it away from everyone else. What an ending to the race. Absolute carnage, as they say. But, yeah. Be interesting to see. I mean, you can almost guarantee that accident's going to be in the stewards. There will be a stewards review in it, I'm absolutely certain. And we'll find out what happened soon, in the near future, I think. But going forward, next week would have been break week. However, because of Canada being voided, that takes place next week instead. So round 6 will come from the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm just going to make sure I'm correct in my thinking of that. Yes, I am. So yeah, the Canadian Grand Prix will come next week from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So join us next week for more IRL Eagle Performance action. But for myself, I've been JPH. Thank you for watching tonight. We hope you join us next week for more live racing from the Invictus Racing League.